So the market today is on a continuous free fall, and we definitely took advantage of that in the overnight session with London pushing the market even further down. I did manage to call out a trade saying that the order block, in my belief, was going to fail, and we caught a 25 handle drop out of that. Now we looked for further continuation into market open. First off, we took the bounce onto the market open, and then we looked for further continuation to the downside. We did manage to shatter through pretty much every single support that we had lined up over the 15 and the 1 hour. The only thing that was holding up at the very end was the 4 hour session for the support. And we're going to go over all the trades today that we took and why they were profitable and which ones went wrong and where. Okay, so at this point we're looking at the 1 hour chart and we're going back over what I saw last night for the build up and the continuation of the downfall. So if we were to take our replay tool, we'll come back into overnight session where I started seeing everything. The first thing that I was looking at was this drop that I saw within the 1 hour. Now we did have a nice spot where everything was taking longs back off and we saw that we had an order block that was developing here. Now the first thing that I noticed is with a steep drop like this clearing two of the 1 hour candles as to prior, we're looking for further continuation. The first thing that we need to see is a soft spot where it wants to pause. So we're going to take a look at that. This is our pausing point, right? There's the flip. So now we're looking for a pullback to 50% or an average of 50% of the initial drop candle, right? So once we see that, an occurrence of a flush with a continuation, which you can see a flush continuation, we now know we're pushing down. Now I saw weakness within the market after we had all the news come out, right? So we knew that we were looking for a continuation drop. That's why I told everybody I'm favoring downside potential on this trade and I am looking for a further drop, right? So we're going to flip into our 15-minute here and we're going to look at the acceleration of this, right? Now what I said is I want to see the order block fail, and there it is, entries off that 415 and a continuation drop. Right, so we cleared 25 handles on that. Now we're coming into the market open session. Right, the one thing that I wanted to see is that we did try to hold the support, and then we drew out a liquidity block. So we're just going to let this continue here. We're going to go 3x, and here we are into market open session. Right. So with the market open session, I saw that we were trying to hold out that support, and I looked for the bounce up. Right, I took the long side of bounce there. I held that. I saw that we formed a liquidity block, which is essentially just a giant wick over top of the candle body. So I looked for another retest of that. Pushing into the open, right, we had the longs. We cleared out the longs. As soon as we pushed within that body, or within that wick, my apologies, I started taking the shorts out of that with a stop loss sitting at the top of this wick right into what are pretty much our area of supply would be. Right, so that would be a 39.88 on the stop, and just looking to clear that low, which was the sessionary low at that point, was a 39.69. Complete push through and fall down. We came into that first order block to where we took a long. Right, we took a long-side trade. We just scalped up a couple handles, and then we were looking for further weakness within the market. All right, so as you can see, the market did want to continue to the downside, and we saw this forming on the 1 hour chart. So if we go back to a 60, we saw that on the 1 hour chart, it was forming for a breakout, and I said I want to see that 50 level get pushed and closed out. We needed a strong 1 hour candle, right? So we were starting to form that giant wick on the 1 hour as a bottom there, and then quickly we saw that within, I said, one more 15-minute candle I want to see hold to the upside here. We saw that 15-minute was flushing. So as soon as that 15 minutes started flushing, I told everybody I'm taking a short, and we entered in our final short around 39.40s. We kept adding into the short, and I said I want to see a flush into the 4 hour support zone, which would be sitting right at that 28 to 20 level, and exactly where this candle flushed all the way out to. So all in all, beautiful trades for the day. We did get a couple stop losses on, just a couple of the bounce plays that we were trying here, but all in all, we were favoring downside momentum. We took advantage of the pressure that was within the market today, had beautiful confluence on everything, and across the board we had an incredible trading day. Lots and lots of profit generated, so I'm very happy with that. But that's pretty much all we did for the session. We traded from pre-market open, half an hour pre-market open, all the way to about an hour and a half into market open, and that was the end of my trading session. I didn't want to sit around anymore. We made more than enough profit. There's no need to continue gambling and try to give much back. So that was what I was looking at. So one of the important things I like to go over is the importance of running a stop loss and knowing where to time your stop loss. Now, today I went back to some of my old strategies because the ones I was using over the last week and a half, they weren't very profitable, right? We were taking stop loss after stop loss, and we were slowly just starting to drain the accounts. So I went back to what used to work, and now my old strategy is essentially using market structure and pairing it with a 15-minute as my open window, right? 15 minutes is my main trading window, using a 1 hour for the side view on structure, and then using a 4 hour for overall market momentum, right? When you start to pair those frames together, you will get an incredible view into the depth of the market itself, and that's how you can catch the powerful moves. One of the important things with setting a stop loss is understanding where to place the stop loss. If you're looking at a 15-minute frame, the best way to generate a ideal stop loss is going to be a top wick on a 15-minute bar. Right? If you're favoring downside of momentum, if you're favoring upside of momentum, you're going to place at the bottom of that 15-minute, because you know the market is going to push lower if it stops you out on that downside, right? Or the market is going to push higher if it stops you up above that, right? So you can always look for better entries, but the whole point is you have an idealization of a general structure that you can use in between the momentum pushes. So that's a very important way of being able to define where to use necessary risk management strategies. So the stop loss is very important. I always run a stop loss, automated stop loss on every single trade. Now, going over things that we use for confluence is going to be such as favorable momentum pressures. So you will always see me when I'm trading live with everybody. I'm going to say this is going to be our temporary bounce. I'm looking for a retracement on the prior candle. So now when I say that, I look for a 50% pullback into the previous candle, and then I look for continuation out of that. That's only used on a 15-minute window. Once we start to get some steep presses to the downside or the upside, when I look at that type of momentum, that's when I look into my 1 hour, my 4 hour, and I'm looking for 50% fills on large bodies. So I always use that 50% as one of my favorable areas. It's been my strategy for quite a while. I pair that with a 50-day exponential moving average and a 50-day simple moving average. You will see that you will generate some tremendous results just trading like this. But the importance of having confluence and behind your structure to your trades is like, you basically being able to drink water. You need to have some form of understanding of why the market is pulling back, even though you want to enter short as the market is falling. You have to understand, why is there a retest of this percentage, right? It's the same reason as to why a lot of traders will go on a daily chart and pull up a fib and be like, okay, I'm looking for that golden zone. Well, it's the exact same idea, but we're just looking for the prior candle back for that little golden zone. So that's the one way that you can understand the reversal of momentum to a continuation on the momentum. If you start to implement some of these strategies, you will see that your trading will take off tremendously. And if you guys want to trade live, like I said, my Discord is 100% free. I trade live every single morning with everybody. You guys are more than welcome to come and join us. But that's it for this episode. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if not, I'll catch you guys next time.